Hey, my prepper posse. I just made a video and obviously the audio didn't work, so this is the new one. The end of another year. I'm doing a little bit of a recap. I went back to work in January of this year, 2024. Very grateful, thankful that I did that. We got all of our debt paid off and raised our credit score. And then, of course, we're able to, get the Jeep, which was very nice. But there's a lot of things that I've learned living in the bus, which I'm grateful for as well. Love this life. I don't really want to trade it. I really don't. It's the best thing that I've done. It's incredible. It's an incredible life. But I learned a lot for the last couple of years doing this. Like now, I want to redo the entire bus. It served its purpose, but on the inside, when you've lived in it for a while, you start realizing, there's things I could have done differently. And that's one of the things I'm looking at for the new year. So I'd like to start all over in it. I don't know how we're going to accomplish that. I have no clue yet. But it's something that I want to do. And then, of course, this year, trying to sell everything I've got in the store. Now, during the winter months, it's not as feasible. A lot of people don't come out when it's snowing. We've got a lot of, supposedly, we've got snow coming. I mean, even down into Pensacola, they're saying that we're going to get colder weather and possibly snow in Florida. But here in Alabama, coming up, the 7th through the 12th, we're supposed to get frigid. So I'm going to keep tabs on that for sure. I've got to run back down to Florida after the new year here, take care of some business. And the girl will let me know, that's for sure, whether it's going to get bad up here in Alabama. But I'm also very grateful that we got a piece of land up here from the farmer. He allowed us to be up here and to really just give it a try, to see what it's like to live off grid. For real. Your biggest thing, I think, living off grid is water. Since I could recap it, I've looked back, and water is number one. For sure. When you're living in your own land or whatever, you've got to have some access, whether it's going to be a well, a creek. You got to have something. So, for sure, number one is water. Number two, probably how drafty is your home. Drafts are a big deal, especially when you're trying to stay warm. But as far as warmth goes, people like the what are they, diesel heaters and things like that. I'm perfectly happy with the Buddy heaters. They're great. They work great, especially in a bus of this size. 25 feet plus the 5 feet on the deck, so I'm at 30 feet. But the inside, not a problem. Buddy heater works great. You almost get too hot. And I've also been doing solar long enough that I know power-wise we're adequate, but you always want more. So that's the other thing I'd like to do, is switch out my solar panels for maybe 200s. So I've got 6 up there at 600 watts. I'd like to do 200s a piece, and that's way adequate. I'd like to have more power than less. And living up on a mountain with no trees to block the sun is phenomenal. That works great. So having the sun is up here, it's perfect. I wouldn't want a piece of land where I didn't have sun shining constantly when it does. So you've got water and power. And it's funny, down in town, they have power outages, and we're up here with not a problem. So I really like that as well. Being off grid, it's the best. The next thing is with water filtration. And we've done a bunch of different types. And so far, I think the Berkey it's number one. I mean, it does 6,000 gallons compared to you having to constantly, go get filters and that kind of thing. So that's something that I'm looking into. Don't want to have to change filters all the time. And probably the last biggest thing that I would like to talk about is stuff. There is just no reason for stuff. I watched a video from a girl that was talking about how she would get angry that she had too many forks. And this is the kind of thing that you look at when you're living minimally and small. You realize what you need and what you do not need. And you absolutely need very little. And that's another, I look around and go, oh gosh, it's just too much. It weighs you down. It's overwhelming. So 2025 is a big purge for me. It's just got to go. Everything that I'm not using. Huge. So I'm looking forward to the new changes, the new year, and trying to figure it out. I appreciate all of you. And honestly, deep down, I do. I love you all so much. Especially everyone that comments and challenges me. Especially Scott Punk. He challenges me every day. and Lily as well. She's something else. And your pleasure. You have great questions. You push me. And I do appreciate you so much. And it turns out the other part that I was thinking about is, when you're up in the silence and the quiet up here, I understand why people get angry in the city. Because I know when I go down to the city, I'm just frustrated. I don't want to be around people. It's too much. When you've been living alone and quiet, and then you get down there and you hear all the, the sirens and the noise, there's that buzz. Yeah. I can see why I I get aggravated. I'm just, can't wait to get back out into the nature. And I think we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to ground and be one out in nature. The concrete jungle is not the place for your mental health, I think.